Hello, it's Molly Reamer with Bridget's Grove and 30 Days of Goddess, and welcome to our April practice. Go ahead, before we begin, go ahead and take a nice deep breath. Self here into presence, into this moment, in your time, in your place where you are right now. And allow yourself a second to just drop into your body, to feel your own borders, your own body here on the earth, and how you are held, even if you sometimes forget, if you don't feel like it, you're always held. And let that sense of being held soak into you. Lay both hands against your heart. Connect to a sense of well-being and purpose. And open your left hand and let the air curl easy across your palm, wherever you are, whether it's hot or cold, inside, outside. Feel the air curl easy against your palm. Open your right hand. Feel how life flows on and on. So many threads connecting and crossing and weaving. Part of this world's story. Keep your head up. Feel the fire above you. Let it warm you. Plant your feet. Feel the strong and steady earth beneath you. And bring your hands back to your heart. Let yourself feel them there, warm and loving. You are connected here in life's great rhythm. So thank you so much for being a part of 30 Days of Goddess, whether you have been apart for 430 plus days or whether this is day one for you, you are welcome and there is a place for you. 30 Days of Goddess is not prescriptive or directive. It is about creating a small daily sacred container for sacred experience. And it weaves together artistic practice with devotional practice with sacred space. Looks very different for different people and really becomes kind of a metaphor for practicing the presence of the goddess in your everyday. So the video that I made available last month has a lot more about the background of 30 Days of Goddess and what it is. Kind of the introductory material is there. So I will link to that video below. And I wanted this one to be more of a quick intro to April and a fresh start. So if you are new to 30 Days of Goddess and you need some more background information, you can go to that other video. And but you don't have to, because 30 Days of Goddess, one of the things I always say about it is you don't have to go backwards and you don't have to go try to rewind, because there is no behind. Just you are where you are right now, and you're welcome right now from this point forward. But if you want some additional information, you are certainly welcome to go back and access that additional information. So what I produce and offer for 30 Days of Goddess each month is our set of prompt words, which you can use any set for any month. They're not necessary. They're kind of thematic, but they don't have to be attached to a certain month. So I offer a set of prompt words, and then I offer printable files that are accessible to everybody. I offer additional levels of printable materials to our Goddess Magic community on Patreon, which is patreon.com/Bridget'sGrove. And then I produce printed prayer books, spiral bound companion journals. So you can use any notebook, you can use any journal, or you can print one and make your own book using the files that I offer to you. So you can print your own, make one, or you can order one from our Etsy shop, which is bridgetsgrove.etsy.com. And the printed book has space for 31 days of art and prayer practice and has a moon wheel for cycle or mood tracking or anything. And then it also has sets of cut-outable cards and stickers for you to use. So the printed prayer book is kind of I'm sorry my light is, I love the light out in the studio. I love having windows out in the studio. It's a great joy to me, but it is making my light a little tricky today. And so I apologize about that because I know I'm kind of whited out and the book is getting kind of whited out too. So just acknowledging that video is not necessarily my strength or my zone of genius. Anyway, the printed book offers this, kind of portable tiny temple, this sacred space in one kind of grab and go portable sacred space. Someone described it recently as opening a dialogue between yourself and the goddess to work in one of these prayer books. So they're really great if I do so myself, and they're really a powerful part of your practice, but they don't have to be a part of your practice. Homemade is great. And so is not having a book at all, but just having a 30 Days of Goddess every day devotional practice. The other thing I offer or have available is our companion card deck, which has prompts, prayers, and practices in it. So you can pick a prayer, pick a practice, pick a prompt, and have another kind of grab and go option for a mini daily devotional to support you. I created 30 Days of Goddess based on this need that I saw from people to know how and what. I feel the goddess in my life. I want to walk a goddess-centered path. I am interested in goddesses and in theology with an A. I'm interested in goddess-centered spiritual practice, but what? Like, what do I do? How do I do this? How do I bring it in? And so one of the things I noticed is either people make it kind of too big and too complicated, like I have to do all these things, or they just don't ever get started because they don't know what. They don't know what it looks like. So 30 Days of Goddess, it was created to offer you the what, the how, that what can it look like. Though it is, I keep the practices that I offer intentionally small and bite-sized and doable so that they can fold into your existing life, into your existing practices, into your existing life, but hopefully to nourish and nurture and support you on your path. And then I do also have a Goddess Devotional book, Whole and Holy, the Goddess Devotional. I also have one with a pink cover that's just called the Goddess Devotional. They're companions. They're not the same, but one is like volume 1 and the other one's volume 2. Anyway, you may wish to have a 30 Days of Goddess practice that involves picking one of those prayers to read aloud every day. Lighting a candle, picking a prayer to read every day might be a perfect practice for you. And then the other thing I offer is the printable resources. There's a new little packet. There's a new packet for each month. So there'll be the words and then the little printable stickers and prayer cards that you can use. And as I said, there's extra stuff for, I think I already used the stuff for my printables from this one. So I only have the prayer cards here, but it has the little mini affirmation cards as well and some printable stickers. So every month there's a little packet of starter resources or sampler pack, so to speak. The Patreon community gets an additional level of printables, and then or you can have the printed book. But in general, I like to always offer a little packet so that you have essentially everything you need for a practice, regardless of whether you order anything else or not. And then you can cut the little cards out and then make your own little deck of cards to read from, or glue into your prayer book, or put by your computer, or carry in your pocket, or stick in a note to a friend, or make a bookmark with, or kind of anything that you want. So I love making stuff to share with you. And okay, so I actually did end up explaining more than I meant to this time because I got kind of on a roll with the different things to offer. The real thing that I wanted to share with you, or kind of come back to, this year I've been kind of coming to a theme each month. And so last month we were talking about smallest possible practices, which is kind of what 30 Days of Goddess is built around. And today I'd like to come back to the idea of the sacred sameness, which I shared about in January as well. So I feel like daily practice to me is a powerful union of sacred sameness with infinite possibility. So creating a daily practice, having a daily container for conscious communion with Goddess, conscious connection with the sacred, is the more you show up, essentially, the more you experience and the more she shows up too. And the more you come to trust this sacred sameness, this returning back to the yoga mat, back to the meditation cushion, back to the porch swing, back to the window, back to the altar space, the more you return to those spaces and you come back home kind of over and over again, the more you come to trust. You come to trust yourself. You come to trust the goddess, the sacred, the holy in your world, the threads of the magic, the threads of magic that weave their way through your life. You come to trust those things, and that's partially because you've created this space of sacred sameness. But in the space of sacred sameness, what happens within it is infinite. So daily practice to me is that union, sacred sameness, the continuing to show up with infinite possibility. You never know what's going to happen. You always learn something new. You always can see something new, spot something new, experience something new, have a new insight, experience something, witness something, etc. But one of the things I wanted to point out is that it's not always like life isn't always fun or magical or special and insightful. And so sometimes you'll show up and you'll feel kind of stale or hollow or why bother? Why bother? There's no meaning, that kind of sensation of kind of cynicism or even anxiety or depression or heaviness from the state of the world. And you're thinking, what is the point of anything and why am I going to sit here and offer a prayer when everything is so bad? Kind of feeling. And again, what I urge for you there is show up for your life as it is right now. Sometimes life holds heaviness and weariness and depression and fear and strain. Showing up only when things are perfect or only when everything is harmonious and it's the right time, that doesn't give you that crucible of change or that sacred sameness. The showing up only when it feels good, showing up in all those conditions, the weariness, the heaviness, etc., is how we come to trust the threads of the sacred that hold us and that weave their way through our lives. So what I wanted to offer was encouragement in the showing up for it all, showing up for your life as it unfolds. That's what daily practice is to me. That's what walking a goddess-centered path is to me, showing up for life as it unfolds, bearing witness to the unfolding story, and trusting that these threads of the holy are present in every day in some way, and that they're always there, and all we have to do is reach out to them, and we will feel them reaching back. So there's threads of hope and compassion and love and courage and divine wisdom and intuition. Those threads are there all the time, like weaving a basket that carries us through the day. And all we have to do is reach out to touch them, and then we feel that they are reaching back to us. So, union of sacred sameness and infinite possibility is what I really wanted to focus on, again, thematically, this month. And then the other thing I wanted to note is that if you are feeling stale, and staleness, I would like to point out, is normal. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. If you feel stale or dejected or like you're going through the motions, that's a normal part of humanity. We can't cure ourselves of being human. That's a normal part of being human. And so, but if you feel stale, the two things stale in practice, maybe you feel stale in other ways too. I'm only speaking about daily practice, but you could feel stale in relationships, parenting, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're feeling stale in practice, my two main suggestions usually are either try something new. So if you usually light a candle and read a prayer, instead go outside and put your hands on the earth and then swoop your arms back up to the sky. If you usually have a very movement-based practice and you like dancing or yoga, you will maybe now it's time to light a candle and sit for 5 minutes with your hand on your heart, sending out love to the people who need it. Or, so try something new. That's the first idea. And then the second idea is get back to the roots. So if you're feeling stale and like you don't know what to do next, sometimes it's best to go back to the roots of what drew you to this type of practice in the first place, drew you to your spiritual path. Go back to the roots. Read something that you read a long time ago that you found inspiring, or try a practice that you used to do and felt inspirational, but then you've let fall aside. Go back to the roots. So either try something totally new or go back to the roots. And that is what I usually suggest for that feeling of being stale or disillusioned. And And yeah, and then the core practice that I keep coming back to myself is that the hands on your heart, recentering yourself into the present moment, allowing yourself to feel held, and then offering what you have to offer, which might be a prayer that you read aloud that I wrote that you have on a little card, or it might be a prayer that comes from your heart, or it might be something that you found inspirational in a book, or that you saw in a meme online, that you offer something. So I'm going to close now with the prayer from the back of our March prayer book, which I see I accidentally also included on the back of the April prayer book. So you will have extra doses of this prayer in your life this month. May a cool wind kiss your brow, softening your tight thoughts and soothing your worry. May the solid earth cradle your body, however you feel right now. You may feel wide and expansive or small and crumpled, and yet no matter what, you are held. May distant sea song call to you, tugging at your blood and reminding you of the great cycle of ebb and flow and being and becoming in which we all move. May the fire of creation beckon to you, and may you walk straight up to the flame, warming yourself by the light of inspiration. May you feel the answering tug in your own belly, this cauldron of transformation and discovery we all carry within. May your questions fuel your spirit and guide your way. May you nestle into a cave of wonder and listen carefully to what you already know. May you spread your arms and spin on a wide world under a white moon. May your faith be strong and your magic bright. May you walk with the goddess today and all days. Thank you so much for being here.